Only a time we die, only a time here on land.
The culture of Mexico has undergone a tremendous transformation over the past few decades, and it varies widely through the country. Many Mexicans live in cities, but smaller rural communities still play a strong role in defining country's collective, vibrant community. Mexico is the 14th largest country in the world. Mexico consists of several ethnic groups. The Mestizo group accounts for 60% of the population. Around 82% of Mexicans identify themselves as a Catholic. According to the CIA, although many have incorporated pre-Hispanic elements as part of their faith, since Aztec times, religious festivities have been a major part of Mexican life. You will be surprised on looking closer at Mexico's carnivals to find very conservative people dancing to please or to ask favors to the pre-Hispanic gods masked behind Catholic saints.
Todos me dicen el negro llorona, negro pero cariñoso. Todos me dicen el negro llorona, el negro pero cariñoso. Yo soy como el chile verde, llorona, picante pero sabroso.
The cult of death in Mexico is not new, as it was practiced since the pre-Columbian era. The festival that became Dia de Muertos was commemorated the 9th month of the Mexica solar calendar near the beginning of August, and the rituals celebrated the life of the ancestors for the whole month. Day of the Dead, it's of course about death, but for Mexican people, it is essentially a celebration of life. It might seem like a Mexican version of Halloween, but in fact, this ancient tradition has a very different focus. It's kind of taking something that is a sad topic and being playful with it. People listen music, sing, pray, and have a really good time. In some places, people even stay all night long at cemeteries so they can be in contact with their loved ones. During this period, the popular belief is that the deceased have divine permission to visit friends and relatives on earth and enjoy once again the pleasures of life. It is regarded as a time where death can become alive again. Death is not something we have to be afraid of. It's just a part of life that we have to face, and in Mexican culture it has become really important the way we perceive life. People go to cemeteries to be with the souls of the departed and build private altars called ofrendas, using sugar skulls, marigolds, and the favorite foods and beverages of the departed, as well as photos and memorabilia, honoring the deceased and visiting graves with these as gifts. They do not come to scare or hunt, as we believe Halloween spirits do. When children in the United States are shouting trick or treat and trying to terrify each other, Mexican children are probably at home helping with the many preparations for the day. The intent is to encourage visits by the souls, so the souls will hear the prayers and the comments of the living directed to them. Celebrations can take a humorous tone, as celebrants remember funny events and anecdotes about the departed. Instead of death being reminded by mourning or sadness, Dia de los Muertos celebrates the lives of the deceased with food, drink, parties, and activities the dead enjoyed in life. Dia de los Muertos recognizes death as a natural part of the human experience. The dead are also a part of the community, awakened from their eternal sleep to share celebrations with their loved ones. In the ofrendas, there is typically a glass of water, and the idea behind this is that the souls of the dead have to travel a long way to get back to earth, and by the time they arrive, they're really thirsty and hungry, so they need water and food. But of course, they don't actually eat food or drink water. Grandmothers say that they take the spirit of things, absorbing the essence of what we offer them, the same way they take the love of us. The Day of the Dead is a festival, and in that sense it's pretty much a celebration, which is something weird for many people from all over the world, because that's not the way we're supposed to understand death. This celebration is a demonstration of generosity, with richness of color, with the sound and the air perceived all over the atmosphere. This is not seen as a sad day to remember people that we lost. It is a celebration for the people that is still with us, not physically, but in soul and thoughts. When we're able to celebrate even the dead, people are always alive on the memories of others. And memories are very important in a world where it's so easy to forget.
From the beginning of time, man has felt the need to explain the mystery of life and death. Many civilizations and cultures have created rituals to try and give meaning to human existence. Where do we come from? Why does life end? Is there life after death? If so, what kind of life? These are some of the questions man has asked himself in order to understand our infinite existence on this earth. Unlike the Europeans who believed death was simple than life, native tribes of the Americas thought of death as a passage to a new life. The Spaniards saw the practice of Day of the Dead as morbid and tried to eradicate this tradition among others. But Day of the Dead celebrations survived and later became ingredient into the Catholicism. The Aztec Festival of the Dead was originally a 2-month celebration during which the fall harvest was celebrated, and figures of death were personified as well as honored. The festival was preceded by Mictecacihuatl, god of death and the underworld. In the pre-Columbian belief system, this god was not dark or macabre, but rather a peaceful realm where souls rested from the days of visiting the living. They thought that souls exist after death, resting in Mictlan, the land of the dead. To the indigenous people of Mexico, the deceased were buried with many of their personal objects, which they will need in the hereafter. Many times, even shows squintless were sacrificed, so they would accompany their masters on their long journey. Pre-Hispanic cultures believed that during these days of the year, the souls of the departed will return to the realm of the living, where they could visit their loved ones. With the arrival of the Spanish and Christianity, the new rulers of Mexico tend to martial celebrations dedicated to the dead under the auspices of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. The dates of these two Catholic holidays are not celebrated in Mexico as Dia de los Muertos.
If you are there everywhere, in the water and on land, in the air encasing me, and in voracious fire, If you go there everywhere, traveling with me in my thoughts, in the having of my breath and in my blow's disarray, are you not dead in my life? Water, fire, dust, and wine.
Day of the Dead altars or ofrendas are set during the celebrations on November 1st and 2nd to honor the dead children and adults. Day of the Dead celebrations are based in the belief that the souls of the ones gone can come back to this world on this day. The altars are the most prominent feature in the celebration because they show the souls the way to their home. Altars make the souls feel welcome and show them they have not been forgotten. The altars for the children are set one day before with holly stock and baby spread flowers, their white color symbolizing the purity of the children's souls. Children's souls are treated with sweet tamales, hot chocolate, atole, fruits, candies, and toys. On the eve of November 1st, the children's elements on the altar are eaten or removed. It's time to honor the adults. Cempasúchil and other flowers are added to the altar together with spicy tamales, alcoholic drinks, and cigarettes. In some areas, altars are made with two levels that symbolize heaven and earth. In others, they are made with three levels for heaven, purgatory, and earth, and there are places where altars with 7 levels are placed. Each of these levels represents the steps a soul has to make to get to heaven. The arch symbolizes the entrance to the world of the dead. In the places where it's set, it can be made with the cempasúchil flowers. A picture of the evoked relative is placed in the altars to make him present and revive his image. The altar is decorated with fresh flower, as it is believed that their scent will make the returning souls feel welcomed and happy. The cempasúchil, or Flor de Muertos, is one of the most used flowers during the celebration. In some places, its petals are set to make a path from the house door to the altar to show the way to the returning souls. The papel picado, or chisel paper, are paper flags, chisels with saint figures or skulls and skeletons that are placed like a tablecloth in the altar. To some people, they represent the element earth for the way they move. Day of the Dead bread or pan de muertos is different in every region of the country and one of the most important elements in the altar, as it is a fraternal offering to the souls in their Catholic sense. Sugar, chocolate, or amaranth seed skulls represent the dead and its very moment presence. Every region in Mexico has a special dish that is considered the most festive and tasty, and it's usually the main food offered in the altar. A good example is the turkey with mole. These dishes are expensive, and most of the families in the rural areas only make them for this occasion. Tamales, atole, fruits like orange and apples, and desserts like dulce de calabaza are also part of the offering. Tequila, mezcal, and pulque are offered to the adult soul so they can relax and enjoy with their family. If the honored one smoked, a pack of cigarettes is then set in the altar. Candles show the most common religious elements are a crucifix and Virgin Mary and patron saint image. Petates are set aside for the souls to lie down and rest. A glass of water is set in the altar to calm the souls thirst after their long journey. The copal is burned to purify the place and to attract the souls with its sweet smell. A small plate with salt is set in the altar as a purifier element. In some candle holders, incense, burners, papier-mâché, or clay figurines such as skulls or skeletons doing a certain activity. In some areas, a clay clay dog is set in the altar to make the children's souls feel good in their arrival. The souls will only take the essence out of the food and drinks. So at the end of the celebrations, or in some places during the event, the family will get and eat and drink. They offer goodies and share them with the community members.
Day of the Dead is the most time-honored and expensive holiday of Oaxaca. It is an example of the harmonious relationship between Christianity and the pre-Hispanic traditions found in the state of Oaxaca. Although Dia de Muertos is recognized all over Mexico, Oaxaca has become known for its ornately rich celebrations venerating the return of their deceased loved ones on November 1st and 2nd. In the state capital, Oaxaca City, the festivities of Dia de los Muertos begin a week before the 1st and 2nd of November with the commencement of the Plaza de los Muertos. This elaborate initiation takes place in each city market, but principally in the Mercado de Abastos. In each plaza, one may find all the necessary items to prepare for the arrival of the dead, including the ingredients for traditional dishes such as mole negro, pan de yema, and Oaxacan chocolate. One will also find a grand assortment of flowers used to decorate the sacred altars dedicated to the deceased. The Oaxacan altars are most commonly built on October 30 and October 31 in the homes of the Oaxacan people. Among these offerings are the delicious Oaxacan mole, freshly seasoned by the women, the delicious nicuatole, pumping with black sugar, sugarcane, tejocotes, the delicious pan de muerto, and the exquisite chocolate ground by a stone. There is also an endless medley of regional fruit consisting of orange, limes, bananas, jicamas, wild apples, nuts, peanuts, medlar, pineapples, and also cooked chayote. In village outside the city of Oaxaca, the celebration of Muertos is most commonly known as Todos Santos or All Saints. This day is often the most celebrated day of the year. The altars found in the homes of the villagers and in cemeteries are honored by all. It is most commonly located in the cemetery and during the course of Muertos. One will find the graves wonderfully decorated with candles, flowers, and food. During this time, the living join together to rejoice the return of their ancestors. Visiting cemeteries and homes enables one to enjoy the richness of this celebration. The energy of the occasion is awesome. All present rejoice in the happy reunion, and you too shall feel the presence of the departed souls returned. In addition to visiting homes and cemeteries, one may experience the cultural richness of this time by getting involved in the comparsas, theatrical performance representing the return of the dead, which take place in various outlying villages.
I reach my limit, my destruction, my break, my fragmentation.